Hi guys, and welcome to Cat Tarot Nose Spread or Dealing with the Exes, which is going to be a monthly feature because I did get so many responses and so many requests. However, I have to tell you, for the private readings, this is like highly energy intensive. I cannot do it within the special, and this reading is offered for $45. Hi Scorpios, let's see what's going to be happening with all these people that maybe somehow slided away, and if there is any chance for getting together, knowing how the things work. I'm going to go with the past and then with basically 4 weeks, and for the private readings I'll go with the past and I'll go a few months in the future, so we'll go from there. So I pre-shuffled the cards, so let's jump right in. So what was the magic chest? Well, in the magic chest you guys have coming on and off. It was definitely an on and off relationship here, and you had a tolerance for that. What needed to be glued here? Yeah, look, somebody felt defenseless, somebody felt giving up, right? So this is still defending, you're protecting your heart chakra. This is sort of like not being protected. Maybe you gave your heart to someone and that kind of like was just taken away. So this kind of has to be worked on, and 7s and 5s are very unstable energies. So how did he see you? Again, I'm going to repeat this for every sign. This is just a category for one significator. This is for another one. Now this can start shifting because of many people and asking for next, and sometimes it's a third person. So it can be lots of people going around. You will know which one you are. So how you're being seen, or he has been seen. As most likely it was you that you didn't know what you want, or maybe whatever was offered was not good enough. Communications in the past. There's another 8, and there was no building. It was in fact destruction. So this is kind of like building systems brick by brick by brick, and this is kind of like, okay, I'm into destructive phase, and this also indicates long-term relationships falling apart, right? Sort of like, when you get into the freak out stage and you destroy everything, everybody's at home, sort of like that kind of a thing. So how did he or she see himself? Right, so he did understand that there were no winners or losers. There looks like a third person. And even though in this upright position this person is so smug and so happy, look, I have the 2, I have this couple, and yet I can have the 3rd and the 4th and the 5th. And yet these people are so sadly walking away. So there are no winners and losers, right? So now he gets it. He gets it that everybody lost. That his upper hand maybe meant that 2 people walked away instead of 1. That he has nothing now. Absolutely nothing. And that's what they call it, Pyrrhic victory. Judgment categories to see how this relationship kind of looked universally. And it looked like it was way too passionate, that just like passion was either on and off. So Page of Wands is really good for a relationship when it's upright. When it's reversed, it's not that great, right? Because it shows maybe passion going in a wrong direction. So maybe it was equal amount of love and hate. So 4 of Wands, what kind of relationship would be if it manifested? Is there a possibility? Yeah, there was a third person, Scorpio. It was a third person. It was like you were trying to heal, you were trying to maneuver this third person here, but it was very, very painful. And it's very hard, if not impossible, to glue a relationship when the third person is in. I know that in my training, basically the majority of what psychologists do is counseling 2 partners to get together. That's the core of the business, and hence you have to be very suspicious if that can be done, because if somebody takes away from the person that you trust so immensely on a private level and you betray that. How do you build that back? I don't understand. Maybe lots of time has to go away. So let me see. I'm really interested in your story, Scorpio, here, because it shows here that's ability of dealing with these emotions and coming back. You know, it's ability kind of like not to offending for yourself. So let's see. Magic chest, yeah, kind of waiting for the ships to arrive. What needs to be fixed? Yeah, the relationship needs fixing. This whole basics from this building brick by brick has to be done. This is kind of like the wife quality. It needs to be fixed. So how does he see you? He sees you as, you know, that you are sort of like a victim. You propel yourself on the cross and you're crying, you're a victim. You wrong me, right? You wrong me. He sees you that you might have some good ideas, but you're tied to your preconceived ideas. You see that here. So that kind of goes together with this Four of Cups here. Like, I mean, this is a major arcana. So, of course, everything is pinned on you. So, let's see the communication-wise. Yeah, he doesn't think that, or you don't think, because this can go both ways, that communication is fortunate. In fact, you know, there are lots of things that are not happening here, and your fixed sign, and like you see, Phoenix represents Scorpio, and you are one of these participant in this wheel, and you have the ability to turn this conversation around if you wish, or not to make it happen at all. So how does he or the partner sees himself or herself? Hopeless, absolutely hopeless. You know, they're now realizing what damage they did to the others. They do, and they're realizing that it was his third party right now, confirmed on almost 3 levels, right? So he's seeing this whole situation as hopeless, majorly hopeless. As far as the judgment of the relationship, what surfaced at that point is, yeah, the commitment fell apart, right? So you have here, it's the end. It was the end of the relationship, and it's going to end in the first week if it didn't end already. This could be past being brought to the present. So it looks like it's hopeless, and it would really take effort from both of you to kind of build if you can get over that heartache. Yes, I see. It's enormous attraction you guys have. It's codependent relationship. Maybe you feel for some reason you want to stay in. Maybe you're married with children. Maybe, I mean, that's what this card shows. Married, children, family, right? See, the couples, elderly, dogs, kids, Safi. You're coming on a really tricky points when people need to focus on their stuff, Safi. Can we resume with you just observing from the side, please? Please? So this basically shows a quality of relationship that, I mean, that's a 6, right? And 6 is the number of relationship, but not if it comes in the form of devil, because that is a relationship that can happen, that can materialize, absolutely, but for completely wrong reasons. In this case, either to stay in a marriage because of the children, or to stay in a marriage because of sex. But the quality that you need for this relationship or a marriage or whatever you're hoping for is really this, because everybody finds a relationship exciting. You're seeing it on Bachelor all the time, and you're flying to different places. It's so much fun. But once when you get home, that you have to clean socks and you have to cook the lunches together, clean after yourself, it's not so interesting. And this is on that level. Many things are falling apart. But you see, this shows it's not working, and here is showing like this needs to be built. So let's move into the next week. Yeah, I see. It's the energy of arguments. These are like perpetual arguments. Like, I mean, 2 of you are not doing well. 2 of you are at each other's throats. I mean, get it. This pretty much tells you, maybe even involving other people, hurting others, basically. This could mean mixed messages. It means, you know, breakdown of communication, right? So from waiting for the ships and hoping, you know, so now this is completely to a breakdown. So what would need to be done at this stage? You know, mourn. This is basically just telling you, you know what? this is not okay. This is a premature end. It's that obsession, and this is depression, and this past hurts are basically here. And that's just what I was saying. How can you get over things? This is obviously sex. This can also mean, him or her going out of a relationship, going out of this commitment over here, right? So one party is like really feeling the other party doesn't have their boundaries, and hence you're like feeling so happy, so sad. This energy, especially when I was a teenager, it feels really close when you kind of like are going to bed and you're trying to sleep, and you cannot sleep because all you do is think about this person who ultimately is not even worthy of you, and you get it later, but at the time it feels like so intense. So how does he see you? See, he's reminiscing about the good times, or maybe if this is what the kids that you share, then he thinks about the kids and the impact they would have. So communication, yeah, it might be some kind of communication. It's going to be pretty emotional, really emotional. And giving Scorpio, this can be you. It could be you blurring your truth out and just like speaking your piece. How does he feel? See, he's he checked out. High Priestess, he has no intuition. He has no ability. He cannot read tarot cards for sure. He doesn't even know how to turn on the wiper blades when it's raining. This is what it means. Off I go. I'm out, right? As far as the relationship, yeah, the relationship is over. If that was a marriage, if that was a serious relationship, 10 reversed, Hierophant reversed, the Devil reversed, Three of Swords, Queen of Cups, nostalgia, relationship is done. Yeah, again, this is the same as Hierophant, just illegal. So this is saying maybe legally you're going to sign the papers or go in that direction, or understand that this makes no sense, that you are fighting for something that is ridiculous. Especially if you have kids, you want to show a good example of it. So let's go to third week if things are improving. Yeah, and the best things that you can get is like really not getting this happiness. So looks like this relationship never had in its chest box that glue. I mean, this is glue, cups are glue, and then you have pentacles, building blocks and bricks, and this you have the aspiration, the swords, right, and passion. So what needs to be built in relationship? Love needs to be built. So the love faded away with all this crap going on here. How does he see you? So he sees you that you want to come back. You see, he does see you as you reminiscing. He does see you. This is not a good card for you, Scorpio. If you're really feeling this way, or if he's feeling this way, that can indicate somebody lingering on. And if you're the one lingering on, which I did see in your last 2 weeks, I really did warn you, please let him go. This would indicate this as well, that you're holding on. You know what happens when you're holding on a person? This person feels this energy, and it's perpetuating energy. It's like creating that tornadoes, volcanoes, kind of like Eminem song, kind of a thing. Communication, yeah, it might. This blurring out would be about this third party. Here we go. There is like, why don't you love me? Why you're not committing to me? And you were with me. What's about this third party? What was sex that important? And that kind of stuff. It looks like you will have it. You will have it. He sees himself, however, as arrogant. He sees himself, oh, I'm so cool, I'm getting ahead, or she, like, I'm so passionate, and, I'm ready to go. And yet this guy was hopeless up to a week before, and kind of understanding, going deep, and now all of a sudden, he's all over the place. And, yeah, relationship is, retrograding. To say the least. Knight of Pentacles not going in the direction of building, going in the direction of destruction. This is what happens when you are dividing the property. This kind of card comes up because it indicates property. So, Four of Wands. Reunion, no decision, not going in that direction. Somebody's looking away from this relationship. And let's check the last week. Last week, the chess box, you do have Empress. This is a nourishing, really nice energy, really nice tree. What needs to be built? Look, you're somebody spying on somebody, really, really spying. This is the person who wants to know everything about you, wants to control you with information. Be very careful. Like last week, especially Mercury retrograde. This can also mean drive by a house, check your passwords, change all these passwords. Like whenever it's Mercury retrograde, change your passwords. Just deal with this right away. He sees you as clamping up. He sees you as checking out. You Scorpio, or that's him. It could be both ways. Somebody's just going to cut the communication. 9, it's the end, absolutely end. But this is end after explosion. It's like a kind of calm down and going inside. Communication, again, the same thing. You know what? I barely survived. Let me put my thanks over here. How he sees himself, the same thing. Again, he basically very sad and absolutely not flirty, not at all. Yes, Safi, that's not a good time. Judgment of relationship, of course. Look, it brought sadness. It brought lots of sadness. And reunion, not going to happen. Choice is not going to be made. So we have Venus retrograde and we have Mercury retrograde. So many things are happening. So, okay, Scorpios, this relationship, let me just, for you who are really sad now to hear this, I just want to point something out to you, which we do when we're in a relationship, to convince ourselves that he's the one and their soulmate. But check this out. There were no boundaries. He was going in your space. He would tell you hurtful things. He didn't want to build some pragmatic things with you, like let's say pack a sandwich, go for a ride in the country. Everything had to be pretty much on his terms, right? You kind of had anxiety about it because you just felt there was no charge ahead. And now yet you're going to discover there'll be, spying and him using the information he already knows, maybe it's stuff from the past, etc. While you didn't play on positive, and positive was basically willing to work on the relationship. It was possibility, it was this emotional glue on some point, and that could be this devil energy, that was this kind of like sexual charge. But yeah, again, it was lots of bickering and lots of poking, and again, that's not mature relationship. And again, this is like, escaping it, and yet this Empress is coming out finally when everything is over. So Scorpio, this is in a sense encouraging that you actually have the Empress and the Lover, so 3 and 6, which I'm looking for in the spreads, but you have it when everything is over, which is telling me that you are moving on, which is telling me that you're actually going to look deep inside of you, and almost you're going to wonder, what the heck was I doing here? Almost like that, in psychology there is such a thing as transfer, and we almost convince ourselves, like this is how they torture the prisoners of war. You convince yourself this is the best way to torture someone, that you convince this person that they really feel that way versus the other way. So you did have this with your emotional power, convince yourself that he's the one and you have to do it, and if you have kids, that you're doing it for the kids. But it didn't work. It's not going to work. He's not coming back, and actually you don't want him back. And good for you, Scorpio. It was too much heartache and too harsh. Nothing is happening here in terms of reunion. He doesn't want to work on it. The best revenge is to find somebody else or to get under somebody else. So keep that in mind. Love you. Take care. And you can get your own private reading to see, and this doesn't have to apply for all of you. You can have completely different situation with your own vibration. So contact me and take care. I love you.